Wanted to show off my new 2023 Honda XR150. I've only had it for a week now, and it's got a whopping 146 kilometers on it. And I'll tell you, when I went in, I was surprised at how large the bike is for a 150. It feels like a 250, and it's roughly the same size and weight as your average 250. Just a little bit smaller motor, and it is, if you're used to more power, it can feel a little bit anemic. But and my first thought was to upgrade the carburetor. I've seen the PZ27 bolts on there and is a good replacement, but unfortunately behind this plastic cover is some wiring going into the side of the carburetor, and I've never seen that on a dirt bike. And I thought, what is that, an electronic injection? No, it's a carburetor heater. I've never heard of anything like it. But it's pretty much, I'm not going to mess with it until an aftermarket part specifically for this bike comes out. It is a lean mixture out of the showroom, and you can't adjust the mixture jet, because they put a cap into that where you would go in and turn the screw to adjust your mixture. It's capped, and I've seen people drill that cap out of there, but I'm just not going to mess with it. I'm going to wait for a good aftermarket option to come out, and that'll probably be here in the next year or so. Took the rubber caps off the foot pegs. That made a huge difference. It's the first thing you need to do before you even ride the bike, is pull those rubber caps off of there. I did get some Amazon aluminum pegs for there, but I'll tell you what, when I held them in my hand, they're not aluminum. They're way too light. They're as light as plastic, and they felt so cheap. I just thought, you know what, these are steel. They're not going to break on the trail, and I just don't want to be stranded out there or dealing with trying to hold my foot up in the air while I ride home. I asked the shop to put on handguards and a skid plate, and I was expecting the Honda handguards, which are kind of cheap and don't have the support back here. So I was pleasantly surprised when they put these ones on for me. I really like them. The skid plate hasn't arrived yet. It's just the plastic Honda one, which I'm going to install myself. I watched Life of Birch, and apparently the back tab comes really close to the engine, so I may want to grind that before I put it in. And I put this little bag on and absolutely love it. Really simple to buckle in there, and this pops up and allows for extra storage. You can access a little bit of storage there. Really like that. And I put on these mirrors, and aesthetically I really like it a lot more than the round ones. And the left handlebar went on just Jim Dandy, just screwed right in, and I put the original Honda cap back on there. It looks really good. And I thought I was just going to screw in this side, but over here on the right side they're reverse threads on the Honda. So with the kit they give you an adapter that solves that problem, but the Honda cap would not screw onto the mirror, so I used the nut that came with the package, which is kind of ugly, but honestly I'm probably the only one who will notice that. The only other thing is the phone mount that I picked up. I like it, it's sturdy, but because of this nut at the top of the forks there's no room for this mount to go further back, so my phone does sit, you know, I'd like it a little more facing upward, but it still works fine for me there. All in all, every time I ride the bike I like it more. It's really well mannered, really easy to ride, super beginner's bike, probably the easiest bike I've ever ridden. And the OEM carb is a little bit of a pain to start, but it seems to do its job quite well. The bike is a Honda. It runs really nice and smooth. No complaints at all. I'm very happy for the price. What you get is really good.